You might be wondering who is most likely to successfully immigrate and what factors play a role in the decision-making process. For example, is it okay to move in your 30s or is it too late? How rich do you need to be? What kind of education is required? Is it better to relocate with your whole family or alone? I'll give you answers to everything. Subscribe to the channel and I'll begin. Hi from Canada, I'm IVANNA PAVLENKO, a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. In 2023, Canada will welcome 465,000 newcomers. How likely are you to become one of them? Let's try to make a profile of a perfect immigration candidate. If you meet it, you can definitely choose an immigration program for yourself and apply. And if not, I will tell you what to do, what options are available for you, and we'll share some life hacks on increasing your chances. I will focus on factors such as age, marital status, work experience, occupation, education, language skills, finances, and so on. And at the end of the video, I will share what to do if you are not a perfect candidate. Let's start by discussing age as a factor in your chances of immigrating to Canada. You can apply for most programs starting at the age of 18 or 21. Sometimes there are upper age limits that vary depending on the program, but often there is none at all. Unfortunately, this doesn't mean that 25-year-old and 40-year-olds have the same chances. In fact, many programs award the most points to candidates who are between the age of 20 to 30, and some give even more points to those who are between 25 and 35. In general, after 35, your chances of being granted permanent residency may decrease. So if you are a young applicant, it's important not to delay your immigration plans. The second criterion is marital status. Sometimes we are asked which option is better, if the whole family together moves to Canada or if one family member moves and then takes the rest. If you don't want to leave your family for a long time, good news for you. It's often easier to immigrate if you have a spouse or common law partner. In many immigration programs, having a spouse or partner can increase your chances of being accepted. This is because your partner's language proficiency, education, and work experience can earn you additional points. Therefore, it is a wise decision to encourage your partner to also learn the language. And it's one of the easiest and most effective ways to gain extra points and ultimately make a difference in your application's outcome. What work experience should you have? There are no unrealistic requirements here. The perfect candidate should have at least 1 year of work experience, but of course, the more, the better. For example, if you are over 35, points for work experience can compensate for lost points due to age. Note that you must confirm your work experience with a recommendation from your employer. It's even better if you find a job in Canada, and it will open up additional immigration programs for you that are unavailable to other candidates. As for the occupation, here priority is given to candidates who have a managerial occupation or a highly skilled one, which requires a university degree, or a trades one, which requires a college degree. There are all kinds of managers, administrative workers, cooks, plumbers, electricians, and so on. Moreover, the higher the qualification, the more points are usually awarded. I want to explain why. There are actually immigration programs for everyone, not only for skilled occupation, but also for low-skilled or unskilled ones, such as cleaners or harvesters. But programs for low-skilled workers usually require work experience in your occupation, a job offer, and work experience for 6 to 9 months in Canada. If your specialty is unskilled and you haven't worked in Canada, you are not eligible for almost all immigration programs. Let's talk about education. Although many immigration programs state that you need a high school education, those with master's or PhD degrees gain the most points. If you have a bachelor's degree, that's great too. It's even better if you graduated from a university or college in Canada, but you don't need this video then, as you will get permanent residency without any problems. By the way, if you want to use this way, check out the links below this video. I help with college admission and getting a study visa. The next factor to consider is your language proficiency. In order to be a strong candidate, it's important to have a good command of the English language, ideally at an upper intermediate level. This translates to an IELTS score of 6 or 7. You are not required to be fluent, but this level means you can communicate on any everyday topic, use complex structures, and so on. As always, the higher your level, the more points you get and the higher your chances of being granted permanent residency. Also, not in all, but in many immigration programs, you will get extra points if you know French, at least at the basic level, and pass a language test. So another life hack on how to increase your scores is to start learning French. I plan to make a video on how to immigrate to Canada without a job offer but with knowledge of French. So if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, do it right now to be updated with useful information. I would appreciate it if you could like the video and leave a comment. Another crucial factor to consider is your finances, which is a topic that many people find fascinating. It's important to know that the cost of living in Canada is relatively high, and the Canadian government typically does not provide benefits to new immigrants right away. Therefore, to increase your chances of being eligible for permanent residency in Canada, it is recommended that you have a minimum of 10,000 Canadian dollars in savings. You'll spend this money on a language test, educational credential assessment, medical examination, document translation, visa fees, and flight tickets. You will also need to live somewhere, and renting an apartment may require payment for the first and last month of the contract. The more people in your family, the more money you need. You may be required to provide proof of these funds in your bank account. However, a useful tip to keep in mind is that if you secure a job in Canada, you may not be required to show as much money in your accounts. Some other factors can interfere with your immigration even if you fully meet the profile of a perfect candidate. Some people simply won't get a visa to Canada. This refers to those who may pose a threat to the safety of the country. For example, people with a criminal record or dangerous diseases such as tuberculosis. There may also be problems due to severe medical conditions. Even if it's not dangerous for others, Canada refuses those whose treatment will cost too much. It's important to know that there are certain restrictions to keep in mind when applying for immigration programs. For instance, if you have previously applied for asylum, you may not be eligible to apply for certain programs. Additionally, it's important to be honest with immigration officers throughout the process. Any attempts to deceive them could result in your application being rejected and prevent you from immigrating to Canada. If you watched this video and discovered that you do not meet all the criteria mentioned, don't worry. It's important to keep in mind that each immigration program has its own unique sets of requirements. For instance, there are programs that don't have age limits or language proficiency requirements. Therefore, it's recommended that you research different programs to find the one that best suits your individual circumstances. To help determine your chances for immigration, we recommend taking a free assessment on our website by clicking the link provided below the video. We have developed a unique system where you fill out a questionnaire and it will match your answers with the requirements of more than 120 immigration programs and streams. Also, consider reliable immigration ways to Canada through education or employment. They're not easy, but if you have a Canadian education or a job offer from a Canadian employer, your chances for permanent residency will skyrocket because such candidates are a priority for Canada. I talked in detail about the main immigration ways in another video. Check out the link in the top right corner and below this video. The video is for 2022, but most information is still relevant now. I'm curious to know how well you feel the profile of a perfect candidate. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell icon to stay up to date with our latest video. Don't forget to check out our other videos on immigration as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in Canada.